A sea of yellow rubber duckies are set to take over the National Whitewater Center.
It is a sight to behold. The Hope Floats Duck Race is making waves in the Queen City. It's coming back May 4th for the 21st year, and a year that saw record-breaking fundraising and participation.
A couple of ladies to introduce this morning. We've got Stacie Brown and Kaela O'Donnell here with the KinderMourn organization. They're the ones behind the Hope Float Duck Race. 21 years we are talking, ladies, and 55,000 ducks. I can't even imagine. You know, we've got video of years past, and it looks really cool. But Kaela, Stacie, give us an idea. What is it like to be there in person when you see that many ducks take over the Whitewater Center in the water?
It's honestly kind of spiritual to see all the ducks come down the river and know that they all represent a loved one of one of our families, and people who have died. And so just to see that many rubber ducks all together is really beautiful.
It's a really colorful display for something that honestly is really hard for a lot of families. People can sponsor a duck, and we'll get into that in a minute, but just tell people what KinderMourn is all about and what work you guys are doing in the community.
Yeah, so KinderMourn's a local nonprofit here in Charlotte, started 47 years ago, and we support bereaved families. So we support grieving parents who have had a child die, as well as grieving children, teens, and young adults who have experienced the death of anyone significant to them. So we do grief support groups, individual counseling, and we also go out into schools and do those same support groups in CMS and Fort Mill schools. You know,
we both Annie and our parents, and that would be the ultimate loss to lose a child, whether it's at birth or whatever, you know, in the stage of life, and even for the siblings, you know, that may have lost a brother or a sister. And so much of grief is it's personal. You almost want it to be behind closed doors. Why is grieving and healing in community? Why is that so important?
Well, like you said, grief is very individual, and that can become very isolating. And unfortunately, for people who are grieving, a lot of times people don't know what to say. So a lot of times they say nothing at all, or they say those pleasantries like, they're in a better place. And a lot of our family members at KinderMourn, it's just really hurtful for them, right? So then you self-isolate, but we actually know one of the best things for grieving people is to be around other people who understand what they're going through. And so KinderMourn has always wanted to provide that community for them.
What would you say to a parent or you know, a child can't really control a lot of these things, but what would you say to someone who is going through that grief that is not linear, and they are in that isolating stage, and they're like, I don't really want to share this with anyone? What would you maybe say to encourage them to get them to maybe come to this event or to check out one of your sessions?
So I would say grief is a lifelong journey, and it's up to them what stage they're in. The stages are never in order, so sometimes they might just not be ready for counseling or grief support. They might not ever be ready for counseling or grief support. But luckily, KinderMourn is here in a local organization that provides counseling and grief support to anybody at little to no cost. So whenever the time is, they can pick up the phone and call us. We'll be available, we'll be here, and hopefully they can come out to our duck race. It is a community-wide event. It is a family-friendly event, and I think it's a great event for remembrance. And it is powerful to see all those ducks come down the Whitewater Center and represent all the healing.
We're looking at some pictures there. Yeah, just some of the 55,000 that will be out there. And that number is way too high, by the way. I wish it was a much lower number, but it does represent those lives lost. So, all right, so help us understand. May the 4th, we know a lot of Star Wars fans, you know, May the 4th be with you. And that Saturday is going to be incredible out at the Whitewater Center. How does this work? And how can people still be a part of that between now and May 4th?
Yeah, so our goal is to have 60,000 ducks adopted right now.
Okay.
We're almost at 40,000, so we're excited about that. So they can go to our website, kindermourn.org, or to duckrace.com/Charlotte. It's a free to attend event. It's free to create a team in honor of a loved one, so they can sign up for free and register. And we're just happy to have them. Hopefully they can come out on Sunday, May 4th and join us.
Yeah, and so the event is free, but as always with the Whitewater Center, $12 per car, so everyone can come in, but then you can enjoy the Whitewater Center for the rest of the day. Other events going on, the ducks get in the water at 3:30, right?
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the big duck drop is 3:30, and we have our sponsored ducks, the big ducks here, that are at 3:15. And then the Whitewater Center is open for all the normal activities, and our event starts at 2 and ends about at 5:30. So we just come out for a fun afternoon.
How do I know where my individual adopted duck is in the sea of yellow rubber ducks? I mean, can I take my duck, can I dip it in lime green or something to make it stand out? How do I know if I'm trying to follow it?
You don't.
Okay, you just have to go. The one in front, that's mine.
You get to choose whichever one you
They're all
want.
dropped from a crane. So
See,
it's,
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that you guys are doing that. When you look back over the years, over the last 20 years. Kaela, have there been moments where maybe a family has kind of given you guys a testimonial and go, there's no way our family would have gotten through this grief? Like you said, it's a journey. It's not a destination. But have you heard from families where they're like, thank God for you for providing me with community for the programs. There's no way I would have made it through where I am today.
Yeah, I mean, we honestly hear that every day. So I co-facilitate one of our grieving parent support groups, and we meet every Wednesday night at 6:30, and it's a ritual for them and something they look forward to. And I've had multiple clients tell us that they don't know where they'd be if they didn't have KinderMourn and the other parents in their group.
Wow. Well, we're grateful for what you're doing. May is Mental Health Awareness Month. May the 4th, the Sunday, is this Hope Floats Duck Race. Plenty of opportunity for you to find community. There is a community waiting on you. You just have to take that step and be a part of it. So thank you both for coming in.
Thanks for having
that.
us.
You guys are going to hit that 60,000.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it. Look at this.
Believe it.
How fun is that?
So
You know you want one. You want to sponsor one.
You know you want one. The Quack is back on May the 4th. We've got all the details at qcnews.com. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back right after this.